Hi, you welcome to Daily Hustle GH. In this video, we are going to learn about the 4 types of jobs you can do. 4 types of jobs you can do. There are different professions and different occupations out there, but we are going to classify all jobs into 4 categories, and those 4 categories is going to be based on either the difficulty or the ease of learning to do the job, and then the level of difficulty or ease of doing the job. So we are going to classify all manner of jobs under these 4 categories. And then this has been necessitated by the fact that every person is born with the ability to do one or more things in an exceptional fashion. Just as you have multiple intelligences, you also have multiple abilities as well. You will only really be happy and successful when you find the kind of work that taps into your unique talents and your abilities that you have today, or which you can develop tomorrow. So simply put, in order for you to be successful at your career, profession, and become financially empowered, what you do must line up with your natural talents or abilities that you have, or which you will develop in the future. So we are going to look at the 4 categorizations of all kinds of jobs that we do or you may do at any point in your life as you pursue a life of your career. All right, so the first one we are going to be looking at in this our presentation is the hard to learn and hard to do. So there are some jobs that are hard to learn at the same time as hard to do. What do we mean by that? So this type of work would include a task like accounting or bookkeeping for a person who had no or has no natural skill in that area. So you see, everybody has a talent, everybody has a natural gifting or inclination in different areas of gifting. And so if you try to pursue a career or a job in an area that does not line up with your natural talent or ability, you realize that it is going to be very difficult for you to learn, and then it is going to be very difficult for you to do, no matter how much time you put in the learning process and how much time you invest in the doing process. So many people find themselves, that's why they don't get job fulfillment or satisfaction in the job they do. They struggle to acquire the knowledge in that job, and then when it comes to implementation, they struggle again. So hard to learn and hard to do. That is the first category of jobs. It will be hard to learn, and no matter how many years you try to do it, it will be hard to do. Many people find themselves in jobs or careers where they are a mismatch in terms of their natural abilities and what the job requires. So that's what I explained. So when you find yourself in a career field where there is a mismatch between your natural talents or natural abilities and the job requirement, you are going to find yourself in this category, hard to learn and hard to do. Not because the job itself is hard to learn for everybody and hard to do for everybody, but you, because there is a mismatch between you, your natural talents and abilities and giftings, and then the requirements or the ability that is required to do the job. So if you are looking for a job, make sure you don't go find yourself in hard to learn and hard to do just because it pays well. Okay, there must be joy, job satisfaction and fulfillment in the job, and then there must be some passion and love for what you do, and that only happens when the job lines up with your natural talent or ability. All right, so the second category of jobs that we can do, or the types of job we can do, is hard to learn but easy to do. So the first one, we said it is hard to learn, at the same time hard to do. But there are other categories, or the second category of jobs you may find yourself in your career life or in the pursuit of financial freedom, is hard to learn but easy to do. This may be a skill like typing with a keyboard or flying an airplane. It takes tremendous dedication and concentration to learn. But once you have mastered it, it is quite easy to do, okay? For instance, you are learning to become a pilot. The learning process is very difficult. It can take a lot of time. You go through many simulations, you go through many exercises, many drills, you go through many learning activities, and then you train, and then you come out. But when you coming to fly the airplane, you see that it is easier, because there are times that the aircraft can gain or assume the altitude is supposed to assume, and then the pilot can just put it on autopilot, and then the captain and then his co-captain will sit down in the cockpit, and then they will be chatting and conversing, and the plane will be moving. So you see, the doing is not as difficult as the learning, because the job requires a lot of work in the learning, but the doing becomes easy, okay? So you must also learn to find a job in that category if it lines up with your natural talent. It takes tremendous dedication and concentration to learn, like I said, but once you have mastered it, it is quite easy to do hour after hour. Unfortunately, this type of job can become boring and unchallenging over time, because you see, the effort you put in to learn, you don't require that effort in the doing. So sometimes those kind of people who need a lot of effort challenge in the job. So that is why when we come to job engineering, creating a job for people, normally one of the things we look at is the job must be challenging enough for the people or the person to learn every day, to do something new, something more challenging on the job to keep them on the toes. But if the thing becomes too monotonous and then becomes just normal and easy to do, it can become boring, and then it will not be challenging. So it seldom causes you to stretch your capabilities and to grow your talent. Anything you are doing that does not challenge you to learn something new every day in order for you to deliver, as a matter of time, you will just become either obsolete in the system, or the work becomes monotonous, and then you will no longer enjoy it. So that is the second category, or the types of jobs that we can find. Number one, remember we said hard to learn and hard to do. Then number two, we said hard to learn but easy to do. So there are jobs like that are hard to learn but easy to do. The third types of job, or the third category of jobs that you may find yourself in life, you see, it is not just white collar jobs. We are looking at skills, whether your manual skills you learn to do, a lot of them, every one of them falls under this category, whether it is a structured formal workplace or skills that we learn and then on our own trades and professions that we learn to practice, they all fall under this category. So when we come to daily hustle, we are talking about those structured formal work and informal sector work, skills that we learn, professions that we learn and we practice. All of them fall under this. So when we talk of job, we are not talking of only jobs that you get at the formal sector. Both the formal and informal sector is covered. So number three, easy to learn but hard to do. So you can see the trend: hard to learn, hard to do. Hard to learn, easy to do. This one is easy to do, but easy to learn but hard to do. Physical labor falls into this category. So you see, let's say laborers who are digging trenches, or they go to construction sites and then you have to dig, maybe they do the setting out and then they do the layout and then you have to dig the trenches for the foundation. How many hours do you need to learn how to throw a pickaxe and then throw a shovel to fetch out the sand or what has been dug? It just takes a few minutes. It doesn't actually require any skill at all. Once you have the energy, you have the muscles, and you can lift up a pickaxe and you can throw it into the air and land it on the ground, and then it will dig out, and you can handle a shovel, and then you can scoop out what has been dug by the pickaxe. You say that you are good to go. So it's easy to learn. But when it comes to the doing, that is where you see the difficulty. So it's easy to learn but difficult to do. You learn it with matter of time, within minutes, within hours, and then but when it comes to the actual throwing of the pickaxe and the actual throwing of the shovel to fetch and to scoop out, you see that it is hard work. So like digging a ditch, It is easy to learn to do a physical difficult work or physically difficult work, but it is always hard to do, no matter how long you do it. So you see, you have been digging very long, maybe, or you are a manual worker, you have been carrying loads. Maybe let's say you are a manual worker at a harbor, and then you load ships with bags of cocoa sacks. How many hours do you need to learn how to lift a cocoa sack on your head, on your back, and carry it on board a ship or onto a cargo truck? It doesn't require any time, but the doing is hard. And no matter how long you have been doing it, it will continue to be hard. So you must know yourself and know what you have carved for. Your personality, your body makeup, the build-up, your energy, your knowledge, your skills, your talent, your ability. You must line all of them up and see which kind of job can fit your personality. Then the final one, which is the fourth job category, which is the most important, is the one we call easy to learn and easy to do. This is the most ideally suitable job for you that balances between your natural talent and ability and then the job requirement or job expectation. So easy to learn and easy to do. Remember the first three. Number one, hard to learn and hard to do. Number two is hard to learn but easy to do. Then number three, easy to learn but hard to do. And then number four, which is the most important and the most suitable, is easy to learn and easy to do. So this job type is easy to learn. So you learn it so easily and you do it so naturally. Why? Because it lines up with your natural talent and your natural ability. So you don't struggle to do it. So somebody who is naturally inclined towards figures, numbers, calculations, it will be naturally easy for somebody like that to study things like mathematics, study things like accounting, study things like finance, and to do it. The person will learn it with ease, not because the subject itself is easy to learn. So take note, we are not talking of ease of the subject matters that are involved in becoming a professional in these jobs. We are talking of our natural talents and abilities lining up with the requirement of either learning to do the job or doing the job in practice. So that's what we are interested in. What is your passion? What is your natural gift? What is your natural talent? What are your natural abilities? For instance, somebody who is naturally talented to sing, it will take a shorter time for the person to learn how to sing or play a musical instrument. But another person who is not talented or skilled or have natural ability or inclination in that area, it can take them years and they may never be able to learn, and it can take them years to be able to do, and they may never be able to do. So when and how you learn it in the first place. So you may almost forget when and how you learn it in the first place. So the things that you are naturally inclined to do, you are talented to do, sometimes you don't even know when you learn it, because it comes naturally, and then everyday life you interact with knowledge and you pick up things easily because they easily line up with your talent and your natural ability. As you can imagine, the jobs and the tasks that are in this category, easy to learn and easy to do, are the best indicators of your natural talents and abilities. So examine yourself very well. What is it that you believe you are talented for, and then you are skilled at by natural ability? You do it with ease. You don't struggle to learn it. You can pick it up like a hobby, and before you realize, it becomes a skill, an expertise, and a profession, and their career emerges out of that. If you are looking for a job and then you want to gain financial independence and you want to attain to financial sufficiency, then you must find a job that falls into this fourth category or fourth type of work. This is where you are the most likely to do the best job, get the best results, and to be paid the very most. I did a video in another of my channels where I was talking of attracting money to yourself, the 3 secret keys. And then I talk of 3 things: what you do, how well you do it, and then how difficult it is to replace you. These 4 job categories I'm describing here or discussing with you here fall under the first secret key there, what you do. So what you do in choosing what you want to do in life, make sure you consider these 4 types of job categorizations and make sure what you are choosing, the career or the profession or the skill type you are choosing your work in, falls within the 4th one. Easy to learn and easy to do. Why? Because we said it is where you are most likely to do the best job. Number 2, to get the best result. And number 3, to be paid the very most money, most likely. And so we just look at 4 different job types or categorizations. And then we said the first one is hard to learn and hard to do. So that is a no-go area for you unless you want to struggle throughout your career life. Then number 2, we said hard to learn, not easy to learn, but hard to do. So this one is easy to learn. That's the 3rd one, easy to learn. The 2nd one is hard to learn, but easy to do. The 3rd one is easy to learn, but hard to do, like manual work, manual labor. And then the last one, easy to learn and easy to do. So choose your career, choose your profession, choose your skill based on the last one because it lines up with your natural talent and your natural ability. Thanks for watching. This is Daily Hustle GH, where our motto is just hustle, no more excuses. You can't continue giving excuses. See you in the next video. Subscribe to the channel and leave a comment and let us discuss. God bless you.